What's going on, Yon Nation? Welcome back for a quick infusion of Cyberpunk 2077 news. In today's episode, we have the NVIDIA Ampere event and the showcasing of a new RTX Enabled trailer, as well as some amazing new Ray Trace Enabled screenshots, some information on system specs and how much space Cyberpunk will take up on your PC or console, more hints at No More Delays, Night City Wire Episode 3 and when we could be seeing it, a new interview giving some hints about the new Trauma Team comic out this month, as well as other details from the world of Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red. First up, we have the recent NVIDIA event where a brief 2077 trailer featuring all the ray tracing and DLSS bells and whistles was showcased. Gonna give ourselves a pat on the back for calling this the day before it was hinted at, and along with this stunning trailer we got some snapshots of some of these scenes, again with all the ray traced goodness. I will have a full trailer analysis out tomorrow, and I did a brief trailer side by side when this first came out, but for now let's briefly look at these screens. First we have Watson at night in all its neon soaked goodness, followed by a scene with our first look at Chinese megacorporation Kang Tao and some of their robots. Moving on, we have this ominous underpass, a ray trace reflection heavy shot of the afterlife, the bar where the Street Kid origin story begins, as well as a couple of others. Again, frame by frame analysis of this trailer and these screens will be up tomorrow, September 4th. CDPR also released a standalone screenshot featuring a booth in a dingy back alley. I'm honestly surprised at how much I really love this screenshot, and taking a look into the back we see that yes, print media is still alive, featuring a reference to a protest in Night City. More on news media in a bit. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit, which seems fairly chilly for California, and there are a wide variety of beverages and magazines, one of which features the visionary of Night City, Richard Knight. In the source material, Knight was murdered before the completion of the city, although it is likely that his ideology is still very much present through his wife Miriam Knight and Knight Corp. In a question from our very own Discord member Michael about if the papers will respond to your in-game actions and change over the span of time, CDPR responds with the fact that in-game media might react to a couple of events during your story, but most of the time they won't be reacting to your actions. I'm pretty stoked that this has at least some sort of presence, and this could mean that the cover stories of these papers may shift to reflect a changing Night City landscape. Moving on, I know many of you guys have been asking about minimum specs and storage requirements for Cyberpunk 2077, and CDPR devs have taken to Twitter to mention that they are going to be coming very soon. If I had to guess, I'd say we're about a month away from these being revealed, kind of around that time when the game is slated to go gold. When it comes to space, don't be discouraged by the NVIDIA presentation, which implied that Cyberpunk may tip the scales at 200GB. It seems that Cyberpunk will be on par with other modern titles, and won't take up an atypical amount of room on your hard drives. Call of Duty Warzone, I'm looking at you. When it comes to delays, we have more hints of those days being behind us, with the release date plastered all over this billboard outside of the CDPR offices in Poland. This was followed up with senior quest designer Paweł Sasko joining in on the countdown festivities on Twitter. For those of you who need more convincing, here's a little extra push in that direction. Also, I'd imagine CDPR doesn't want to miss out on holiday sales and the window right before next-gen consoles as well. When it comes to Night City Wire Episode 3, there has been some chatter that it will be featured at the Tokyo Game Show at the end of September. This is likely not the third episode, judging by some descriptions and even the time of the event, and is more than likely just going to be the second episode of The Wire shown to their Japanese audience, similarly to how CDPR showed their Chinese audience the first episode the day before announcing Night City Wire Episode 2. If they follow suit with this, expect an announcement of the third episode at the end of September, slated for the beginning of October. In any case, CDPR has responded on Twitter that they obviously have not forgotten about Night City Wire 3 and that it will be a good one. Moving on, we have an interview with writer Cullen Bunn and illustrator Miguel Valderrama about the upcoming Trauma Team series. Explaining the concept of the comic, Cullen Bunn mentions that it follows Nadia, a member of Trauma Team who is experiencing a great deal of pain and suffering. She's off the heels of her last extraction, where she saved a patient but the rest of her team was killed. She has been cleared for duty again, but she's still haunted by these prior events. This new mission is to save a patient who's pinned down by a gang of killers in a towering skyscraper turned death trap. When it comes to crafting a compelling story, Bunn mentions that his personal take on the cyberpunk dystopia has been taking shape for decades, drawing from bits and pieces of his favorite interpretations. He was also deeply invested in the cyberpunk role-playing game back in the day. Valderrama mentions that although the genre has influenced him, he gets more influence from heist and police stories and likes to rely on the cyberpunk element for more of the specific details and social commentary element. Humanizing the TT as having flaws and weaknesses and struggling with the system of Night City along with the regular day-to-day citizens makes the dystopia more believable in the opinion of Valderrama, and this will be at the core of the narrative. The comic will take place in the same timeline as the game, although it's not bound to the events of Cyberpunk 2077 and acts as its own story to make the reader feel that there's always something going on in Night City. Bunn mentions that if they do more stories, they might focus on different characters and aspects of the 2077 mythology. A focus on intense action, a crude and violent story, and harrowing challenges seems to be the focus of this Trauma Team comic. There is a bit more to this article, so for the full scoop, check out the full interview in the description. Moving on, CDPR has recently collaborated with Rockstar to release some new branded energy drinks going by the name Samurai Cola. Again, they're going full speed ahead with the licensing deals. 2077 is going to be a monumental cash cow for CDPR, so why not? We also have an illustration contest for those of you talented artists, so for more on that, make sure to check out the details on cyberpunk.net. Finally, happy birthday to Keanu Reeves, aka Johnny Silverhand, who turned 56 yesterday. He definitely doesn't look a day over 45, but it is what it is. As always, thanks for watching, and for more Cyberpunk 2077 news and lore, join Neon Nation by subscribing to the Neon Arcade.